And we're live with episode 14 of, and yeah, we're live. So, Total Justice Gaming, episode 14, the Gen Con Fallout bands, and we got a bit of a change on the lineup. Once again, I am flying solo. Mark has gone back to school. He will only be popping in for set reviews. God help anybody watching this and knowing that they're going to have to deal with just me again. That being said, I am on my own, so anything I say goes, no tampering with Mark. But I will miss Mark there. Such an asset to the and we're still going to get that rave the entire episode, but that's okay. Joining me this week to talk about the Gen Con blog are some guys from Rochester. They are Team Azure Flame. How very Vanguardian of you guys.
I'm not going to thumbs up for that.
And we have background Mr. Force, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm good.
Yes.
I'm good. He made top 4. I believe he was running this era, which we will probably get into her a little bit later. We'll just run down quick brief scenario. I'm going to switch the camera fully onto these gentlemen. We'll just go right down the road. Tell us who you are, how long you've been in the game, and why you're on this team.
All right. I'll go first. I'm Matt Hughes. I've been in since the very beginning of the game. I walked into my local store, Millennium, one day, and one of my friends just like, "You play every card game. Come on over here. It's the greatest game ever. It's got Street Fighter characters." And got hooked right there, was in playtesting for a while, and I've just been trying to play the game nonstop ever since it came out.
Jesse Cervini, Deck Don't Matter on the forums. Played since the beginning. Actually, this is the man who got me in. I was very reluctant at the start. Got back, took a break after the FFG collapse, and when King of Fighters came out, my favorite character, Raiden, got put in the game finally. Decided to start playing UFS again, and been running him pretty much nonstop since then.
I'm Jeffrey Kahn. I started playing when I started college. This guy got me in. Just saw him and some friends, his friends just playing. I'm like, that's Street Fighter. What is this game you guys are playing? And I've just been playing that pretty much. Yeah, it was about when Darkstalkers came out around then.
The first time.
The first time. Yes.
Yeah. You've been playing since a week from now.
yeah. But no, I've been playing for quite a while. It's been one of my best games competitively, so I've always stuck with it even through its ups and downs.
I'm Andrew Force. I guess I'm the only one here who didn't get pulled into this game by you.
Pulled in most of the store.
Yeah, but I've only I learned the game like 2 years back, but never really played it. Only have actually been playing the game for about six months now.
Yeah.
But I definitely have liked it as my competitive card game for everything. Just the mechanics, the play style, everything's just much more fun.
Right. Well, first off, gentlemen, it's a pleasure to meet all of you in person. Give or take a person. I don't believe I actually met you or got to spend time with you, Andrew. I do apologize.
That's right. I was I was in singles and top 8 bracket last 2 days and just wanted to sleep afterwards.
I do not blame you.
Yeah.
My voice was practically shot from dealing with so many people at Gen Con. To the YouTube audience, hopefully watching this either now or later on down the road, if you demoed and found your way over to the website, thank you for joining this. We really, really need you. That being said, guys, Gen Con, how was it for you?
Good.
It was great.
Right? Best Gen Con ever.
So glad I went. Gonna go back every year because of this game.
Was actually my first Gen Con's first convention period, but I could not have expected any more.
You didn't want to go.
The stories.
All I know is I had my best overall record ever. Like, teams top two, getting to almost. Well, yes, because
He
We'll
was
get to-
also playing Iori.
well, that's true. True. There, true. I actually chose a not very fair character that ended up getting banned.
We'll get to the bands in a moment. What do you think, guys? By all means, share stories. Guys, share them. We're here to talk about the Fallout Gen Con, including the, was it Disastrous Ice Cream Challenge?
Oh
It was,
god.
oh god.
That-
Okay.
You can't say it was disastrous. You weren't the one doing it. I was.
I was doing it.
He was
You
drunk.
came at the end.
He was-
didn't
No,
you?
he was back behind.
I was behind.
Oh, you guys.
I
Oh, you
did
were the
my
ones
own
that
thing.
didn't matter.
I did, sir. I downed almost the whole thing myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you two were on the same team, you probably would have beaten him.
We probably would have been. Well, that was. If you look at the video, that was my
three
comment.
fat people versus three
Yeah,
sticks.
I was like three. It's like Piglets over there, and it's versus me and who is it? Fields.
Yeah. It's like I should have been in your team. I
Fair.
here I couldn't stand up, so I had to kneel.
This man never drinks.
I never drank.
It was amusing.
Oh, apparently 5 shots is my limit.
It's okay. I think like the biggest fallout of Gen Con, this is the first time, it was like the first time since getting back in the UFS I've been to like a Nationals or a World event, and overall, same things happen as every UFS event. I will say before, a lot of us are going to probably talk about this, is the inevitable playoff for an 8th position event.
God.
I will see how that falls out. Hopefully by Nationals, they'll actually have a lot of those things fixed.
Yeah, they need a better software. Because I always, whenever they came back from Gen Con every year, I always hear issues like, oh, it crashed and we had to put everyone back in at round 5.
Or yeah,
Well, that
like
was
there was
what happened. The start of this one is they went to use Jasco software. It didn't work. Sean had to get his computer, and we ran the software we
On
use
the
every
older,
week,
yeah.
which we already know is bugged.
the software is just always a
But
problem.
other than that, it was run mostly fine.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Didn't really have any major issues with tournament proceedings. I mean, there were a
We
few
need
issues.
actual floor rules.
Yeah, there were a few
Yeah.
issues in top 8 as well when it came to spectators and how much they can or can't influence a game. But outside of that, I definitely had a very good experience in the tournament.
Everything actually kind of went somewhat smoothly as compared to other years I've been there. Things progressed. Like we didn't end up sitting around waiting for like the software to do something or someone to, or like a huge like rules problems didn't happen until tops and whatnot mostly.
true.
All I know is I'm 2-0 against Garrett Brett in tournaments, and I'll just keep on coming back to take him out.
How long were you waiting to say that?
He probably was.
I already told Kevin he will fund me going to events.
To be
Yes,
fair,
we have seen the forums as of late. It's quite lively on the forums as of late.
yeah.
Now, that actually brings me up to the point since we talked about Garrett. Now, not directly related to Garrett, but he kind of leads us in there. There's a lot of talk you do every year about cutting the top 16. Regardless of how low the tennis be. We had really good attendance. We had, I believe, 65, 70 players, give or take.
64 exact.
Yeah, we needed the
I'm
60.
trying to embellish to make us look good, guys.
No.
You ruined it.
I'm sorry we know actual numbers.
Oh, come on. I'm a business guy. You got to market it this way. 64 is the last that we were able to allow in. We were going to turn away everyone else who came after because it would have made things difficult.
Okay, but with 64 players, do you feel we should have gone to top 16 as opposed to top 8?
I completely
Definitely.
disagree.
This,
No.
Now, here's my thing. Are we, the people, and this is going to cause a lot of uproar, and I apologize to people if I feel like I'm calling you out, are the people that are calling for top 16 those that feel that they should have been, could have been in if it was top 16, or are they just kind of butthurt because we cut the top 8 and they just didn't make it?
I'll start first on that one.
Okay.
I think it was kind of, there was definitely some butthurt. I think it kind of sucks that because if I understand it was 2012, they had like 60 people, but they decided to do a top 16.
Yeah.
And because
Yes,
of that,
and the
there
tournament was extended another 4 hours because of it.
Yeah. And I think the judges made the right decision, being like, here's the point of entry, and this is how many people we hit. We're gonna run 8. We're gonna run to a top 8, and yeah, it made the last rounds really cutthroat, and it made a lot of weird things happen towards the end of the tournament. But I think it was fine. I will not disagree that if we cut to a top 16, it would have made it just. We would have had to have done it. That I would have put if I would have made it if I was in top 16. I would have made them play that night. I'm like, because then it makes less people have to be up and out there in the morning.
Yeah.
Or tops, fine.
Yeah.
Now, if we cut to a top 16, would you, if we were to cut to a top 16, would you prefer it if it was timed to an hour-long match?
My biggest issue with top 16
With only top 1 and top 2, not time. Now, I do apologize. Didn't mean to cut you off.
go right ahead. I think that might be kind of an answer, but I think the biggest issue with top 16, especially like if we had done so in this tournament, is when diversity exists, that going to a top 16, you're going to be knocking out an innumerable amount of people and going incredibly deep into the tournament to find those 16 people.
Mm-hmm.
If people are even just, if there's 2 people at the tournament playing the same deck, and let's say that on average that happens across the board, so there are 2 people per deck, some will be more, some will be less, that means that your top 16 is going to go down to half of the tournament in order to find your actual top 16. So you're actually looking at a top 32.
Anybody else thoughts on top 16? This time around, like everybody wanted but didn't get, we went top 8. Like, I feel we should always go as the actual. I believe there's actually a chart that shows you when you cut the tops, and I feel like we should still obey that chart.
Is when you exceed 64.
Okay. Yeah.
We did not exceed 64. We met 64.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, to me, that's fine if the rules say that it would be top 16.
What rules?
Well, I don't know. I know there are. Well, whatever.
International seating chart, and I don't know where it is, but I do know that we have it. That tells us if we meet X amount of players, we cut to X top X.
Yeah, and I believe following that would be the fair thing, like, because yeah, I mean, if you have too few people and you still cut to top 16, as Andrew said, you like eventually you cut like the people with like absolutely terrible records could just end up getting just slipping in. And it's like, well, then how's that fair to the people who worked?
It happened one year.
Oh, did we?
It happened in the Tira Young Sun year, where like there was like they were playing to a top 8, and there was like 20-something Young Suns and Tiras, like
My God.
way old story where like they were like I think when they finished the actual cuts, there was people in like the top 8. There was people in the 20th spot
Wow.
getting in still.
In some cases like that, I mean, that's why we have diversity.
Yeah. Hughes, you wanted to say something?
We've covered most of what I wanted to say. Let's continue.
Now,
Okay.
speaking of diversity, rolling in diversity, I've always been a fan of cutting to the version of the character as to what we have now, where we just look at character versus character. Now, we are supposed to play a fighting game. And in many fighting games, you have mirror matches. I think that should be, and this is again my personal opinion, that we should looking to not cut diversity out, but to make diversity only look at versions of characters as opposed to the characters themselves. It's like a 2.my. It's like a 2.my can diversify out a 2.my, but a 2.my cannot diversify a 1.my.
I actually feel really strongly about that. I'd said that before. When I came back into this game, King of Fighters had just released. I started playing this game with the Iori, the old Iori, and I would have loved to play an Earth variant build of that, but with the fact that it's just glaringly less powerful than its comparative Iori, I feel I could have had a very similar tournament if I played that deck, but there would have been no way in heck that I would have gotten in. They're two completely different characters, and I think should be analyzed on two different levels.
Agreed.
Like I wanted to, like I had a deck for the rare K. I just gave up on it. I had to give up on it. Yeah, I had to give up. Yeah, uncommon. Sorry, I had to give up on that deck because of Kevin and Shane. Like they're gonna play the better K, and I'm like, I can't play my deck that has some cool ideas because it just won't get there.
Yeah. I mean, it also seems fair, like, because, yeah, some of these versions just play so differently. They are a different character. And, I mean, heck, sometimes in fighting games I've played, sometimes they are a totally different character. For instance, in King of Fighters, there is
Goro and Daemon.
And there's Nest's Kyo and Kyo. There's Iori with his purple flames and Iori with his rainbow nails and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I think
the two versions of Iori.
Like, I think what it should be for purpose of diversity also, but a little bit back to the top 8 thing with the diversity, is I think there should be, if it cuts to a top 8, the top versions of each character in diversity, instead of one being knocked out, maybe if there's that many people that are being out diversified, have the top 2 actually fight each other out at their same strength of schedule. Because I know Garrett and I were same points when it came to breakers. And that was a little bit upsetting to me because, like, I had more wins than him. I feel like I should have been able to place higher. I mean, it turns out it was, in the end, Ryan was one of my losses, so he was higher anyways, but...
Well, he should have just been playing higher because he had more wins than draws.
Yeah. The issue between...
The idea of a 303 having the same, considered the same as a 4-2 was kind of weird. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Well, that's where that first round bye comes into hindrance more than helping.
They should get rid of those, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I wholeheartedly agree. Honestly, I think that if you win a PTC, you should just be able to get the trip down there, or your ticket conference. But a first round bye you cause too many problems. Hopefully, that'll be changed.
Yeah. Like,
First round buys are fine when you're something like Magic and you've got a 2,000 player event.
exactly.
Yeah.
And you got 2 days and stuff, so it's like your first round buy. That's how it's like
The main
20 rounds
purpose
or
of a buy in those events is they give people 3-round buys, and so that way there's like 100 odd people or so that don't show up until the fourth round end, where about 200-300 people have dropped. So it just saves space. That's one of the bigger reasons for having a buy.
Yeah.
Like in our game, it just doesn't seem necessary.
Yeah, especially when we like play like 5, 6 something rounds or something.
All right. What else we got here? Well, we already discussed all the big heated topics on the forum. Banning.
Okay.
That's a very good topic.
Well, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're going to go to bannings here.
Well, we're actually going to round table the banning. We'll start off with the very tops. So, needless to say, we're going to go with Flame Ziori.
Absolutely needed.
It needed to go. I played
I'm
it.
sorry, Giggles, but
It's all right, buddy.
Well, I agree. I mean, when we already got rid of one of those characters who could win on like turn 2, you had to like get rid of the other one eventually. I mean, nobody likes it. No, everyone hated me for just blowing them up on like turn 2. I mean, when I made both Dave Wagner and Mike Harden want to like just like I think Mike wanted to like kind of quit. I think I don't know.
It's also like he's deceptively consistent. Even after rotation, people were like, "Oh, he'll be weaker because he loses commuting and stuff." No, doesn't matter.
Yeah, I thought that too, and then we played it out. And it's like, dang, you can still do it.
Yeah, the order was kind of causing. He just was. I think the design objective of him and what he actually ended up are two different things. Like, it's kind of like the Skullman thing, where it's like, you know, about his ability should be like only be doing this so many times, except you can keep playing the cost over again. It's like the aura, you're just like, he should only be drawing 2 and discarding one once, but maybe they just missed that wording, and now we just are left with the leftovers of it. And that aura was just I'm happy to see it gone. I wanted it gone before Worlds. I was hoping it was going to be gone before Worlds, but I played 2 of them in Swiss and beat them, and they were unhappy to lose their Raiden.
Matt?
Oh, I thought I'd said everything about my site. I'm just glad he's gone.
Okay, we're all going through it.
I just wanted to go with the disagree. It's like he's deceptively consistent. That was my main point of him. Like,
Yeah.
I never want to see him again. I would have liked to have played him once and win something with him, but I kept on. Every time we put the deck together, we handed it to Giggles.
Oh, I always love those types of decks. I mean, hell, I loved when I could, like, it was like just do stupid. I just like.
I played an older Legacy deck back in the day. The old promo Ukyo, who was essentially the same thing.
Yes.
And because I played that deck in and out years ago, I knew that Iori was stupid and needed to be gotten rid of, because Ukyo did pretty much the same thing, except he got rid of your hand instead of making everything impossibly fast speed.
Anybody else on Iori?
He's pretty cut and dry, so it's like that's why I didn't have much to share.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. Now they're gone. Do you feel like second-hand size 20 were back?
I would love to play that deck again. My only trepidation is that they also banned Page Protect, which we'll get into later. But
Yes.
banning Page Protect makes that Earth damage reduction much harder, but I think it's still very playable, specifically because of the Wall of Goro Yautame Unflip.
Yeah, I mean, you got some other stuff there.
I mean, I still think it's a very playable deck. I mean, we'll have
Easy as fast as the net play, but he could still be a threat.
Oh yes.
My opinion, I think just doing the Chaos Evil Shell that most people ran with Evil Foundation's Chaos Attacks, I think you can still very much do that on 7-hand size Iori. It loses a little bit of its consistency, and you absolutely can't survive after you start going off. But I think it's still a deck. It's just very suicidal and a little bit more coin flippy.
Yeah. Definitely.
Like, I wouldn't be surprised to see a couple people just taking the same deck list from Worlds and fronting the 7-hand size Iori at Michigan.
Anybody else?
I've said my piece.
Yeah.
After playing Iori before the new one came out, just the play styles between them feel so much different, especially around the inherent. Just you lose a lot of value if you're not playing like auto desperation move control, because the ability for him to lose 1/2 a desperation is deceptively good with things like Tsubaki. His 9 damage throws at 5 and 4 difficulty are nothing to laugh at, and I feel he can be more of a high damage, like kill you across 2 turns, or one-shot you if it's turn 4, rather than having to go, oh, I'm going to try to play the old Iori deck and try to kill you on turn 2 and 3. I think you should play more towards the play a turn later, out-advantage your opponent with the fact that you're a 7-hand size versus a 6. You're on possibly Earth. That's my input. But I also love the New Earth deck a lot better.
Anybody else before we move on?
Let's go to the next card.
All right, well, K-Dash.
Oh god, that needs to go.
That's
I think I'll start on this one because I kind of made my own piece on this card. I think they banned the wrong card. I think by banning, I think there's other cards that could have been banned over the K-Dash. I think if they wanted to ban something, they could have just banned Pay to Protect, and my card that I really wanted to see banned was Perfect Accuracy.
Really?
I think if it just like those are like the cards that were like in my list of I was hoping to see come up on the list and they didn't. But I think they've decided on this now. maybe in a few months when more cards are out, the next, the first Mega Man set's going to be out in a few months. You never know what could show up in that set to make like, okay, maybe we were good at move to let this card get banned. So we'll see. Like I would maybe give it time. Maybe I would love to see a vote for him to come back. I think but now, let's let him go now and hope for him to come back later.
I just couldn't stand the fact that it's like, not only could he just recur, he could just recur whatever he needed. If he needed an attack to kill with, he could get that. If he needed something to block with, he could get that. And it became easier to play no matter what you were using it for.
Yeah.
And it's like, it became so hard to, like, when he could just pick up the perfect block and make it, like, even whenever I play against him, I guess, even if I pump the speed up to ungodly numbers, it's like, all right, I have to, like, check a 3 now. And it's like, it just was annoying. It's like, the only time I ever really beat him was when he just happened to not check any attacks into his discard pile.
Yeah. I mean, being on Water or Void does give you access to things like Revoke, and specifically in my case, Freeze Over was a big part of the sideboard. I was fortunate enough to not have to face Kevin or Shane, but the Freeze Over did help me out in one of the Rogue matchups, so props to Freeze Over.
I will note that in my teams and Swiss, I was main decking 2 Freeze Overs in my Water Raiden deck.
I'm still glad
it was necessary. It was a necessary evil. Like, I couldn't. It sucks that I had to actually fear a deck so much though that I had to actually have 2 cards in my main deck to protect myself against it, and then 2 more in the sideboard.
Also, the fact that almost every team we faced had a K-Dash in it.
Yeah. You know how many K-Dashes I played on the first day of teams? All of them.
Yeah.
Remember, that was kind of our strategy, was
True.
to give you the main deck answers, put you on K-Dash.
Yeah.
Kind of worked.
Yeah.
But it
We-
kind of says something about it, sorry.
Yeah.
Like, my personal opinions on K-Dash, I'm still unsure either way on if it was correct to ban him, because I see the merits on both ends of the arguments. Like, he is technically a 927. It is kind of like, if you pressure him early on, you can beat him. I don't understand still how people can get that. Like, I guess I was always playing the throw deck against him, so it was a little bit easier against me. But, like, another people's complaint about it is they didn't have fun playing with or against the deck. Kevin and I probably did well over 100 matches, I'd say, over the past few months. I always had fun playing against the deck, and the few times I played against it, it looked a lot of fun. And he says it's one of the most fun decks that he's played in UFS in his career. So I don't get why people are saying that's an unfun matchup.
If I can jump in on that, my hypothesis in that case, because I have a similar approach to you, and I wasn't playing the throw deck. It is definitely a very interesting. It is a very difficult matchup if you do not understand the deck inside and out. We have played with and against Kevin constantly playing that deck. We know what it does, how it works, if and when it can do things, which makes that matchup more fair in our case. I could see for someone who doesn't have either the time or the resources to sit down and grind out countless games against the deck, without knowing how that deck plays, I could see it seeming like an impossible wall to get through.
Yeah.
So I also am kind of up in the air on whether K-Dash himself was bannable. I'm going to go with the hoping that maybe support that's coming out sooner may have broken him again, in which case they erred on the side of caution. And I completely understand that argument. But I do feel there were other cards that could have been banned that would make him not as much of a burden.
Well, they could have banned Dark Tide Summon, but they are going to retreat the Etzel's and
Yeah,
LKD.
maybe.
It's
Let's not talk about reprints.
Not yet.
Okay, now, just like the Yuri question, do you feel that we will see a resurgence, or people would prefer, or do you think we'll start seeing other K-Dash now?
Yes.
I'm gonna put up with giggles. What the heck did it do?
He is dual persona for speed. but it's
Oh,
plus
that
3
one.
speed.
That one.
Oh.
Okay, I thought that guy was really cute.
Yeah, that sounds actually kind of fun.
Yeah, he
Like,
does like
I
a-
think just playing big evil moves with him. He also does something to destroy foundations, but
yeah.
I think just playing a bunch of moves with dual persona and his own ability, just to make your moves increasingly higher damage and speed.
Oh, now you make me want to play that. That sounds fun.
Okay, we'll build it.
We'll build it.
We need that for Michigan. We gotta figure it out.
That's true.
But I guess the
So
short
we're
answer
just
is
pretty much on the thing that yes, I think we'll see more uncommon K-Dash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Combo attack deals damage. Both players destroy one of their foundations. I don't think.
Ignore that part.
Yeah, we only look at the dual persona speed.
Yeah.
All right. That was paralyzing touch. Who I should cover both of them? Because primary reason was that they were the primary or secondary market, which
Yeah.
probably dealt a really heavy blow to people like Sean.
I
Dealt a heavy blow to me.
I'm gonna just. I think using that as a reason to ban a card is the worst reason they can get. If they could have come up with something that actually that affects the game outside of ability to obtain the card. Let me tell you, everybody I think wanted to have those cards had them in their decks and was able to play with them, or find people who were not playing with theirs to play with them.
Mm-hmm.
I will also mention that some of those that maybe if they didn't, I would like to see how far they actually went to try to get them, because I mean the forums can be really helpful in cases.
Yeah.
I mean, I was not
I heard
playing
kidney
with
drop.
Well, like I found that I understood more why they banned like paralyzing touch, a little less why they banned Kaplow. Like paralyzing touch, I've had turns just end when that thing just reversals me, and it's just like
yes, and they were by my hand.
yeah, that's you several times too. But it's like it stops people from just playing the game, and I feel a reversal should not really stop you from playing the game, but should just be meant to maybe deter you to maybe just start playing other things. But it's like it felt still, even after being eroded, it felt too powerful sometimes.
Well, I was gonna say, even if the card's already been erratic, they can't go anywhere else other than to ban it or erratic even further, and then it becomes unplayable, and you've got to manage two erratics.
Yeah. But I think they shouldn't. I can understand P-Touch. Like, I give them their additional reason to P-Touch on how it can kind of it made things weird with some matches. Like, I played it once again, I'll just keep running my deck back, my Ride and Water deck, and I would go play it, moon the other one in my yard. This one gets discarded, play another one out my yard. Then it was a part of my combo to have P-Touch, and now it's like, well, back to basics. Yeah. But I think it was not. I think P-Touch, I understand being banned. I don't understand why they banned Kaplow. Kaplow was
me.
Yeah,
I understand both the reasons. Like, there were many times because I played against the Bittner deck multiple times and just Kaplow decks multiple times over the years since it came out. It made it so once they go into desperation, they could just easily on the swing back kill you when you're not ready.
Oh,
like when it's only a 5 difficulty at desperation, and if you're playing Skullman or some other high vitality character, or you're playing All Wall that can just drag out the game, reversal something at 6 difficulty that stuns them out, reveals your hand so you have information rest of turn, is 10 damage base, which, like, even if you check another 2, committing 4 foundations when you're drawing to the late game and you have like 15 foundations in play isn't that bad. And then after you do that, to punch them in the face, either they block and pretty much end their turn because it's so hard to block, or they take it, you still manage to survive your turn because you're playing All Wall and you can survive forever off of Templars.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're just able to just come back and throw more of them at only 5 difficulty.
Yeah, I guess that's very true.
It doesn't have too much of a drawback other than the 2 check itself.
I mean, it can also make itself not. What was its other ability? It says your next card doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't have the progressive difficulty. Your next attack.
Yeah, I mean that's the other thing too. It's like it then also says it's make the next thing easier to
Yeah.
play or easier to play.
And like I understand both the reasons for both cards being banned. I guess I'm more upset that they put unobtainable as the first thing. Like that's a
Yeah.
good thing to add on, but like a big thing with trying to push sets, push your game and whatnot is presentation. And when you're putting that as the number one reason, I feel that's a bad thing to be doing, especially when it was an in-house set. So they technically could have printed more of it. They just chose not to.
Yeah.
My other issue with unobtainable is that if that is truly the reason, then, correct me if I'm wrong here, I'm pretty sure I have my set straight. Divine Trib is another heavy chase, Tides of Vengeance, ultra rare,
Yes.
that is also $30 to $35
Yes.
that people have the same issues acquiring. If you are saying the same thing. So if they truly wanted unobtainable to be the reason, Divine Trib should have been on the list too. Which kind of leads me to believe that, no, there are other reasons, they just didn't take the time to give them to us.
All right.
Like this state of the game, like the little like band / state of the game they put together for that looks like somebody took 5 minutes and put that and typed that up. And I just like reading it, it was like you could have put a little effort into explaining things instead of us sitting here like, okay, this is your reasons. Like they posted it at 8 p.m. Monday night.
Yes.
Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern time for everybody else. And we look at this, I'm like, okay, so at the most it was posted in Vegas time, it's like 6 o'clock. I'm like, somebody should have taken a little bit longer than those quick seconds to put that notes together, I think.
Like, yeah, it feels like they put it in and are just like, all right, let's have the forums have fun with it. Bye.
Well, it's probably Jason writing himself saying, okay, put something there.
Came off his.
Now.
Oh, dear.
Well, yeah, we'll.
Sorry, I'm just saying what I keep hearing from other people.
I know.
I'm impressionable.
Yes, he is.
Surprisingly, the show's becoming slowly more legit than I thought it was going to be. So we won't badmouth the company. Not that way anymore.
Just for everyone who's watching this, Jasco Games is a great company.
Oh, yes.
It's just every once in a while they do things, but they make up for it plenty of times.
We love you,
We
Jasper.
are growing, and we're going through our growing thing.
Yep.
Yes.
Wait,
We're
you're
trying-
telling me American companies don't always do things right?
We won't bring up UD Konami, promise.
Oh, God.
Okay,
We won't
now
bring
the
up.
last card.
Now the last card, which I have
Do
the most
two.
to say
We
about.
forgot about Page Protect.
Well,
No, penance, you mean.
Now, I will be completely honest with you guys. When I saw Penance on there, I was completely surprised. I mean, outside of Vespera, I don't see too many decks. But, I mean, in Vespera, it's a redundant ability to backup of a character stack.
Well, I've seen it used in a lot in other decks. Well,
well,
his, and it seemed to me that it's like
Stop running Raiden, Jesse. Stop running Water Raiden. That way we stop seeing mixed cards.
our arguments.
I'm going to show up in Michigan still playing him probably. So I've already put that out there.
but to me, it just seemed kind of just. It was more just free, just card rent. Like there's no real downside. It's like just go flip, go grab my best reversal, and now you know I'm going to punish you now on this attack, or build up for the next turn or
hand
something like
sculpt
that.
with it.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, though, is that I would completely agree with you if they did not ban Paralyzing Touch.
Yeah, that too.
With Paralyzing Touch
Yeah.
gone, my favorite penance target now becomes Mugshot.
Why not Eradicate? No one loves Eradicate.
You can't touch Eradicate. It says 4 or less.
Okay, well, there is that. Beside that, why not Eradicate?
Yeah, no, I do agree with him. I don't
Like-
understand why you have to ban both. It's either
To
one
be
or the
fair,
other.
Whenever I penanced throughout all of Worlds, which actually didn't actually happen that often, my penances did not hit the field as much as I would have loved them to. But it always was penance for the block, and then try to actually block off of it. It allows me to play a little bit more greedily, but it doesn't necessarily become an impassable game state. And I mean, I'll also say no one's running Damnation anymore. No one's running Revoke anymore. At least I didn't see any of them. I played against maybe one Revoke, and it hit my Grasping Widow combo. So without those enhance canceling, Penance can seem stronger than I think it actually is, because there is a decent amount of interaction that can deal with it if you're really that upset about using a card that does nothing but give you the card back.
For me, it's just I feel Penance was just redundant in Vespera, and the loss of Penance to other decks just makes it really hard for any other reversal character to actually do anything.
Yeah.
Like I had a deck, I never actually got to try it, a Fire Benimaru deck that I just wanted to run Penance in order to pick up some fire reversals, particularly P-Touch, because it was stun and worked really well with him. But so Benimaru just doesn't have a shot at all.
I wanted to try it in the Robert Death deck. Like you can pick up his kick and a couple other things.
Yeah,
like
my biggest thing is I really had this cute list for a Death Reversal Ash build where, so, like, the only attacks you play on your own turn are your opponent's attacks, because we were in a metagame of Divine Tribulations. So you trib them on your turn, and then you penance and do, like, your cute reversal P-Touch stuff on their turn. But yeah, that's gone, because even without P-Touch, I could get it to work. But
You're a
without
horrible
penance,
person, Andrew.
I'm sorry, I want to make form play my opponent's attack Ash work.
And I applaud you for that.
Yeah.
We'll have to sit there and talk about Ash, because I got a really nice Ash discard deck up that.
I think Penance was not needed. I'm just gonna. That's my own thing. I don't. Doesn't matter what.
My initial comment on Penance was it looked like, and since it was last on the list, it looked like someone wrote up the list, and then someone else walked over to the computer when they went to the bathroom, typed in Penance, hit enter, and said, "Let's do it."
Like, the original post is even talking about, it's like, oh, we're banning this card because it can pick up P-Touch. But right above it, you ban P-Touch, so it's like...
They invalidate half of their own argument.
From what I'm understanding, I've talked to some of the other people. The other reason Penance was banned is because it left an out should you be able to tap Vespera, because it pretty much copies Vespera's primary pickup ability, but without the cost of loss.
But the issue is if you're that worried about Vespera,
By
I want
banning.
to take a moment and actually look at tournament reports for Vesperas. How many have top 8'd, and out of those, how many have gotten past the first round of top 8s?
Like,
Yes.
According to,
like outside of
out of the 2 people who've talked to me, I'm the highest
no,
ranked.
no.
Phil Birch won his card with Vespera, but that was way
Well,
back.
But no, Slam
was
came in.
before
Slam
they
came
did
in
the thing.
second in Atlanta with Vespera.
Okay, thank you for talking about
That was It was that.
But it's like Vespera's gotten up there a bunch. She's definitely one of those big, strong, annoying decks. I'll admit she's a pain in the butt to play against. But I really think that if you're that worried about the character, don't hit Penance. Hit something with something else that would cripple her a bit. I mean, hitting P-Touch was hard
Kind of
enough.
purple her enough, I think.
Yeah.
And, I mean, hitting Penance just removes a lot of potential for other reversal decks that aren't Vespera
Yeah.
to be
Yeah.
playable. Because they have no way of actually picking those reversals up. Like, my biggest idea right now, if you want to play with the reversals, is hope to God it hits, and then you Acacia of Death it on the next turn, which is really unreliable.
Yeah.
Spring
Yeah.
back Strike Heads.
Oh God, yeah.
No, we are not bringing back Strike Head.
Best reversal ever printed.
Oh God.
Oh, it is. That's why they fixed it with Stardust Drop.
I played Star Wars.
I forgot about that thing.
Don't forget, guys, I played this almost as long as you have. I came in at Fortune and Glory.
I loved Fortune and Glory.
That was a good set.
I love the Foundation.
I guess,
Oh God.
as we're talking about
no,
Legacy,
not that.
I guess that's part of the reason why maybe like K-Dash and Iori and Vespera, none of these things seem like too much of a pain to me because I played against like Fortune and Glory Hugo back in the day every week, and I was playing Ukyo, I was playing Tira, we had Fireball McCulls, like we had much dumber things back in the day. Maybe that's why these things seem kind of more fair.
What
to
about
me.
that stupid guild deck that made it so you never drew cards?
Yeah, it wasn't
All right. Last one, and then we'll just, I don't know, we'll be on that for probably 15 minutes, give or take, plus announcement. Pay to Protect. Pay to Protect was too much damage reduction for too little thing. It was rereadable, reusable, create non-attacking situations. The other reason, and I talked to our Total Justice Gaming quality control, Tim Keefe. We love you, Tim. Well, technically now it's I love you, Tim, because Slam's gone, and you know that just gets a little awkward. The reason they are banning, one of the other reasons they're banning Pay to Protect, was when Pay to Protect initially came out, keywords were very few and far between. Now we have stuff like Satoshi, Team Iori, where we have Desperation, Weapon, we got 18 keyword attack cards nowadays.
Team K-Dash.
Practically, Pay to Protect stayed in the Mega Man set. Almost everything have a keyword of range.
Yeah.
So I understand why that had to go for that reason.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, this man alone once committed and like and I think was it? I thought he only did 7, but the
It was
thing
a
is,
DR9.
but the thing is, he had 3 out at the same time. It's like I'm like,
I knew that after Worlds, Page Protect was definitely leaving because before we started teams, I got to play against Nathan Staffcard.
I remember this game.
oh God, right?
I got 3 copies of Page Protect out, and when he's playing like 15 damage moves every turn, and I'm just like, take one, he was not happy.
Okay,
that
hold on. Speaking of Nathan, we do want to wish you from Total Justice Gaming a happy birthday. Nathan's birthday was yesterday.
Oh, happy
birthday.
Also, Power Rangers turns 21 today. That holds no bearing on this podcast.
I think this week's mate is Nintendo's 125th anniversary or something like that.
And it's also Ghostbusters' 30th anniversary.
Oh yeah! I'm gonna go see that in theaters.
So we're getting all these in UFS, right?
Ghostbusters, next license.
We got Nathan already in UFS. One down, 4 to go.
Yeah.
Now back to
Paper Tech was gonna go. I actually when I did the set. I think Monday during the day I posted something kind of like because nobody was talking about the bans. It was kind of like everyone was talking about it off of the forums. I posted my thing about it, and it was when he was exactly right when the card was first printed, and they even brought back again because of it was a promo the first time around for Tekken.
Yeah.
You needed to reprint the card just so people had access to it. But it just got progressed. The game just changed so much where this card became too good.
Like it's a relic of an old age. It did its job back then. It was too good now.
Yeah.
It was probably one of my favorite cards, but after Iori, I think it was the next most important card to go.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with that there. That if you were only going to ban 2 cards after Worlds, it had to be Iori and Pay to Protect.
I've always hated DR. It sometimes makes it so that games go on forever. I mean,
Play next with instability.
I'm sorry, but
Give me a ride.
I'm sorry, but sometimes
Give me a ride.
I'm sorry, but sometimes those aren't enough. I mean,
True.
and especially when they get them out in multiples and whatnot. It just makes it so that you can't make anything stick. So I mean, so I feel getting rid of that will make those kinds of DR decks a little more fair, at least. I mean, it was hard enough sometimes when I had to get through Ball of Goro and
We'll
stuff.
see in Michigan.
Yeah.
I'm
I mean,
probably locked in the Jack.
now. There is a card that is not on this list that many people feel it should be. I think we all know what it is.
Warning
Are you
Blast.
gonna say Piercing Hell?
It is clearly my character card that nobody saw because it doesn't exist.
Oh.
No, Jack Lamb.
Jack,
With
You're talking to our Jack player,
Yeah,
so
yeah, I
we'll let
was
him
like-
start.
maybe he feels like penetrating lunge back in the day. He put you in a catch-22 of if you block, I get to go get I get to go get another throw. If you don't block, you take a gigantic amount of damage, and if it's late enough in the game, I still get to go get a giant throw. I'd surprised a lot of people by like, all right, take 8, you take 8, all right, check against an 8. Commit 3 foundations, pick up move, keep going. They were not happy. Like, maybe it's, I don't know. The thing with Jack is he's definitely a slow game unless you're playing against 7 hand size characters. Like, if anything, he will be the main thing that makes it so 7 hand size characters still don't really make it in the meta.
Even with the Darkstalker cards, I mean,
Maybe we'll see. It's like
I'd still kind of tend to agree with you is that just the looming threat of 9 damage throw into check a 5, commit 3 into 9 damage throw.
the big thing is
half the characters
it's
die.
not just Jack. It's the fact that Lunar Catapult exists for you to pick up. So they have to be reducing your attack down to 3 and blocking, or bring it down to 2.
2 and block is desperation.
Yeah, if you're in desperation, like the fact that Lunar Catapult exists with him is the bigger issue more than Jack himself. He's definitely like I think if Lunar Catapult existed, he would be strong, but still pretty fair. But I think it's more Lunar with him that makes him overpowering.
I also feel with now that he doesn't have Page Protect to hide behind, he won't be able to just DR as hard.
Yeah.
I'll just block.
Well, that's the thing. Now you have to block. You can't just, you know.
So I can pick up blocks with Jack. That's
Yes, but now you
I'm
have
now proving my point on why it should actually be banned. But
Yeah, but what I'm saying is now if you're saying you have to pick them as blocks, now you have to use them as blocks, not as attacks, instead of just going freely. Show you my hand. Show you my hand. Okay, now I'm gonna hit you with these moves.
I will say, Jack Lamborn was one of the fights I definitely play tested a lot against, because as a reversal deck, I'm like, I kind of have to play into his mechanic in order to play the game at all. So trying to learn how to play against that matchup, now that Page Protect is gone, I would have felt much more comfortable against it. It's still an abysmal matchup, and it's a game that neither of the players ever wanted to play, because the Jack player didn't like getting P-touched on turn 2, and I didn't like getting free throws on me turn 2.
I had fun beating up the Sparrows all weekend. I don't know what you're talking about.
Because you still had to pay for it. Whenever I fought the Jacks, it was like, I'll block a reversal with the P-touch, and then they Page Protect, and it does nothing. I'm like, I blew up a foundation, I stun 2'd you, it's early, so that's relevant, and then 2 turns later, that P-touch is no longer relevant anymore. And they still take 1 damage from it, and I can't make a kill turn. And they say playing probably one of the most aggressive Vesperas when it comes to being able to attack on your own turn. The ability to chain 7 attacks in a row with using Clandestine to like
Forgot about that.
Yeah,
turn.
when
Holy crap.
I go move, Grasping Widow, Clandestine, Mugshot, Ready Clandestine, do something else.
yeah, that was.
And Jack still doesn't die.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
When it comes to cards that should have been banned, I think I'm in Garrett's camp. Piercing Howl
Oh,
should
shut
be
up. Theo.
over Jack.
He's been on Piercing Howl ever since I got back into
Like,
this game.
It's a coin, like it turns into coin flip matches, and it's like especially when people are talking about cards that need to be banned because it warps the metagame too much. Like, look at your decks. How many high blocks do you play compared to other blocks?
I will
You
say
play
though,
a crap ton. People play Havoc Call because it's a +1 high block against that.
what I will
People
say with that,
throw it down in their sideboard.
the thing is that it doesn't just hit Piercing Howl. Like, playing, if it was only Piercing Howl, that was a big worry for that.
Yeah.
I don't think people will be playing things like that. When your +1 and +0 high blocks block Piercing Howls, Divine Tribs from decks that aren't Angels.
Yeah.
There are a lot of other just really strong high moves. I'll tell you right now, my +1 high mugshots are the reason why I beat Ben Shoemaker.
Oh, the Takuma throw attack I was playing is a high.
Yeah, highs have always been, since day one of the game, been the most important thing. Like, I remember back in the day playing Nurgle.
Shadow Banishment.
Yeah, Shadow Banishment was the big high attack. And
Yes.
I ran for months Nurgle's Poison Sting because it was a +0 high.
But that being said, is respecting one of the 3 attack zones in the game really that much of an issue? I mean, it's not that Piercing Howl, it's like, I will, don't get me wrong, Piercing Howl is an incredibly strong card.
Yes.
Um,
Especially for a comet.
but the type of cards that you try to play against it are also good against close to probably half of the good attacks in the game.
Yeah.
It's not like in K-Dash where I'm boarding 3 freeze-overs specifically to beat K-Dash, and even then I still might not do it. If that was the case, then I would completely agree with you that Piercing Howl should go. But your sideboard is, or even your main deck that you're playing it on, hits a lot of other cards.
But how many times do you throw Divine Trip on turn 1 versus Piercing Howl on turn 1? Like, I've lost matches to Giggles just going, Piercing Howl, take 4. Piercing Howl, take 4. Build, next turn. Piercing Howl,
Yeah, but
Divine
remember,
Trip, kill you.
you're also playing
Well,
against Giggles, so he
yeah.
always has all 4
Yeah,
Piercing
yeah.
Howls.
Sorry, you forgot the game where I played 4 Piercing Howls and then kept going. I mean, mind you, this was with a banned character, so I think, I mean, that's the other thing, too. I mean, a lot of this stuff is all based around a banned character.
Like,
I can't-
well, Wagner did the same thing when I was playing against is Protoman in the top 8. Is he tried throwing a Piercing Howl on turn 1, and I'm just like, good thing I put high blocks in my deck specifically for this. Like, I definitely put in Tsubaki specifically to pick up high blocks to block Piercing Howl.
I'll actually say it right now. If I wasn't running like the extra high blocks to run around Piercing Howls, which it didn't end up being the issue, I would have gotten dunked by Ben Shoemaker. I mean, he even still, both games of top 8, put me to half my life, turn 2, and I still say he probably, if he not drew like 4 attacks on the next turn instead of having to try to build a little bit, that still would have been rough. And that wasn't because Piercing Howl. That was just because Conch Blast is a really strong card.
Yeah.
Conch Blast is real. I expect to see more of it at Michigan.
I completely agree.
I was playing to build him in.
I am absolutely in love with Concussive Blast as a card.
I've always loved that thing, especially because I always hated DR and it gets around most of it.
I've been playing Stacker Air My at locals specifically so I could go form 6 high for 10 Conch Blast, block it, okay, do it again. Because it's just fun.
I'm going to smack you in the face now.
All right. Let's
I think
get
we've
back-
talked over around Joe too much.
We kind of brought up other cards and let ourselves go a little bit.
No, it's perfectly fine. We got that hour long we wanted. We'll wrap it up here. Unless we got anything else?
Uh,
I will actually make one comment just about the community in general. I've played a lot of card games at higher competitive levels, and this is by far the best one. Just when it comes to the community, as soon as you get past the salt in our veins,
Yes.
we're all a really cool, close-knit, almost family-like community. I mean, between the people I did know when I was at Worlds and a ton of other people that I met, and specifically people I played against and kind of accidentally hard countered. Sorry, Alex. But, I mean, we ended up BSing and I got new acquaintances and people that I actually like to talk and play games with. When it was in Magic, it was, after you get past like round 3, everyone wants to kill each other. And I hated that. That's why I got out of competitive Magic, because I hated the groups.
Yeah, I've always one of the things I've loved about this game was how the players are actually, friendly people. You actually want to have a conversation with someone. Even win or lose, you tend to have, want to either chat up the person or, get to know them. It's, I even feel, let's say, safe in this community.
Someone mentioned Ben Shoemaker's Terry.
Oh God, yes, and hilarious too. Like, just Ben Shoemaker's Terry voice. I was laughing, like I could barely play my cards. I was having
You
so
don't
much
get
fun.
that at a Magic tournament.
You do not. Heck, you don't get half the jokes and whatnot that happen in our
Yeah.
play group. Heck, the camaraderie. I mean,
That-
hell,
that's
you wouldn't
the
see,
big thing,
you
yeah.
wouldn't see a bunch of Magic players suddenly go to a restaurant and have like a Sunday eating challenge and whatnot, and
Yeah.
no.
UFS is too damn good. Doesn't just apply to the card game; it applies to all the players too.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I think like,
Card game only.
yeah. I will say that like since I gotten back into UFS, like I did like the most like me and Matt probably did like the most traveling in the old UFS days. Even I did on my own more. Like yeah, I think the game's kind of like we have
A
our
lot
people who are a lot closer. Like everybody's more communicative. Like everybody's traveling for the events.
Oh yeah.
Wanting to be like when I heard like Michigan went to the PTC in California. Great for them going out there. Like all these people going around to big events and just wanting to build the game. I think we're at that point where it's time to bring everybody together. Let's start growing this group and doing it properly. Like getting that's the big thing now. I think the next year is I think we had 64 this year. I would love to see
I want to see 80.
I would like to see 80 next Worlds. I think by Worlds
I'd
next year.
like that.
That would be the big target number.
Like we're adding 3 new locals this week.
Yeah.
And we'll hook them. We'll get a hook, line, sinker. They're probably watching. Don't care if you're hook, line, sinker. You're in.
Plus,
Now,
we're
how
trying
do
to
that probably sometime September, I will be putting out either an article or video that will be discussing what it's like to put together a new local tournament. Run it, some tips on scouting, some tips on how to just generally run the tournament, help shape your meta a little bit, and the pluses and minuses of returning players. While returning players are always a good thing, mixing old players with new players is sometimes not a good thing, and I'll discuss that more. Next week we're going to have UFS singles champs Keith Desborough. Following that, we will have
He deserved it. Like he was when I heard the top 8 list, and he was like we were talking the night like after singles. I didn't even have him on the list. I actually didn't think he had a chance because of the top 8 was so stacked against that deck.
I thought it was a thing because
Like
he's been playing that deck forever.
Oh yeah.
He needed to win.
Like
He got it.
I'm so happy. Like when I found when it was him against was it Polka in the finals?
guys. There you go.
Sorry.
What?
No, the camera went out on you guys. I was wondering if the computer went to sleep or something.
Oh,
no.
You're back.
I think we were putting like there were like the odds on that match are like the match has to go to get to a certain amount of turns for Angels to win to beat Ori, and it did. And it did all the matches he won, and it was great for him. Like I can't wait to get his card. I can't wait to see his card.
Oh yeah.
Like I think it'll be.
It's going to be
great
Rick and Yori's ability to just on it.
Oh, Rick. Yeah. It's like, oh. Well, I will say that like I want to say one thing is if anybody's like, because they haven't actually posted any results of like team side of Worlds and how everything went. We had to beat Garrett Brett's team in the quarters, with him beating Garrett Brett like in our final match, then going against the Michigan team and him having to beat Jeremy Ray. Like our top 8 was like so strenuous on our end. It was like me or Giggles would win our match, and then it's on Hughes every game.
This man carried us. Those shoulders are just. His back must have been killing him.
But I'm really happy for Team Tap Out. I think Shane's group was great. I wish Tyler, who was like Shane's friend, who was actually the person who really
He's been running the Kim deck all this time.
like. I wish he was there and playing it. No offense to Daniel here, but like I think Tyler would have done just as well with that deck.
And like he had earned to be in that spot. Like I hope that they just put him on the card in the background, going, "Hey."
He's like he's like that transparent thing guy in the sky.
Ghostly image.
Yes, that's it.
That will actually, change. It'll be on in 2 weeks.
Oh, cool.
Oh, nice.
We beat him. We beat him here. Well, more or less, I messaged Joe on the ride home from Gen Con. Like, Joe, you want us for the show at some point? I thought it'd be a good idea. Like, I wanted to find we finally had a reason to want to be on here. Like, we got a top 4.
Finally had a reason to watch. Really?
No, I watched.
No, to be on the show.
show.
I watch it every single time.
I'm oblivious, so I will
It's
watch
in there.
now on.
It's on my podcast list. I'm like, I watch Joffice one day, and then usually tomorrow at work I'm watching your show. I'll probably rewatch this anyway, see how bad we sounded.
Oh God, I can't stand to watch myself. I always think I sound awful.
I need to fix the sound on this quality one day.
That's more of the mic. My mic's
It
really
might be
good.
right. Yeah.
I have a really nice mic. We're not using your headset mic.
Yeah, dear God, that thing.
Oh, well.
That'll be it for this week's show. I'll see you guys next week. You guys just hang out. I want to show you guys that Ash deck. That way you guys can see what my deck's like.
Alright.
Worlds.
I'll show you my Ash deck too.
Ooh.
It's okay. It's fun. I didn't think it could.
I'm
be.
sorry, I think that deck's actually really good.
All right. So again, you guys, thank you so much for joining me this week.
Yes. Yes. Thank you.
Yes,
for
I do. I kept it under an hour, guys. This isn't a 2-hour show anymore. Well. All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody, so much for joining. I'll see everybody next week.
Bye.